Hello everyone. Today we are going to be discussing Python packages. Now to begin with, what are packages? So packages are basically bits of code that have been put together in one place so that you can use them more efficiently. So I'll elaborate this further. Packages can contain Python files which are linked to each other in a certain way. So why these things are useful is, for example, if you defined a particular function to calculate let's say the salary of a person given 4 or 5 different parameters. So you want to be able to use this function across different programming ventures or different projects of yours. You don't want to code it again and again. That is not feasible or practical. You also don't want to cut and paste the whole code again and again in every project you want to use. So the way out is to put everything in a package and name it, and then you can just simply import that package and use whatever functions or methods have been defined in that package. So packages are a very efficient way of organizing your code. So there are two aspects to packages. One is when you are creating your own package, and another aspect is when you are using a package created by somebody else. So if you are creating your own package, the most important thing to remember is that it must contain a file named init.py, and that init file, it's a Python file, is important for Python to consider the whole thing as a package. If you do not have this file, Python will not recognize this as a package. Now there need not be anything in the file. You can actually have just an empty file and Python, it will still work for Python. However, you can generally place some kind of initialization code in that file if you wish, because that's the first file Python will look at. Now regarding importing packages, Python is fortunate to have a very vibrant community, and there are literally thousands of or maybe millions of open source packages out there which can be used, and they are really good because these contain code that have been tested by so many people, and so we know that this code works. It works the way it is meant to work, and that sort of adds a lot of reliability to your project. So let's see how we can use other people's or your own packages in a different project. We use the keyword called import, and let's focus on the actual usage now. So if we say import game level start, so the dot operator in here is the one which is separating the different modules. So game is our overall package. From this game package we are going to import the level, and from within that level we are going to import start. So now maybe there's a function called select difficulty. When we are starting our game, we want to say set a level of difficulty. So we can use this also, from game level start select difficulty, and we pass the value 2. Now this can become a little inconvenient. So if we only want to use the start part of the package in our code, in the current code file, we can, instead of using import, we can use from game level import start. So now we are defining a certain level within the game package, and we are only importing the start part of it. Another way to do it would be to import just the select difficulty part. We can do that as well. So this is how it goes: from game level import select difficulty. So remember, whatever you have imported select difficulty. This is the one that's going to be referenced in your project. Here we were importing start. So we say start. Now we can access start because we've imported it, and then dot operator to access a method of start, select difficulty 2. But if we have imported the whole pathway up to select difficulty, then we can call it directly. We can call select difficulty 2 directly without using the start.select, because we've imported it all the way to this level. So there are various levels to which you can import. The spin-off is obviously, if you want to use only a little bit of functionality, you go a little deeper, dig a little deeper. If you want to use a lot of functionality from a package, it is a good idea to import the whole thing. So you can just import game directly, then you'll be able to use everything that's contained within game. You can use things within level, you can use things within start, you can also use things within select difficulty. So that is what happens when you import the whole of game. This of course is going to take a lot of memory when you finally make your program ready for deployment. However, if you are importing only select difficulty, it is memory efficient, but you only get to use the select difficulty method and nothing else. So this is a trade-off that you will have to balance for yourself. Now another thing that I have not mentioned in this document is that you can always use the as functionality, and the as functionality lets you cut down on the length of the code. So if I say from game level start import select difficulty as SD. Now this as SD, what it's going to do is it's going to convert this whole into SD when I want to invoke the function. So instead of saying select difficulty 2, now I will only have to do SD2 because I've imported this function as SD. So this is one way we can use it. So you're going to be using a lot of packages as you go along programming in Python. So it's a good idea to take a minute and get used to how this functionality works. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.